Hi guys, and welcome back to the Early Bird Photo News. I've just come back from an awesome outback road trip testing out the R6 Mark II in the field. And while I had a great time with the camera, the circumstances weren't that great because we had lots of rain, not many birds, and millions of flies harassing us every day. It's actually a big surprise that my tent stayed dry on the inside because seemingly I placed it into a river. Nonetheless, I was able to take over 20,000 images with the R6 Mark II, which is not that hard when you're shooting at 40 frames per second, and test it out in the field, put it through its paces, and I must say it has really positively surprised me. Not everything is perfect, but overall it seems to be a pretty good camera, and I'm looking forward to sharing my full review and my settings video with you guys very soon. In the last Early Bird Photo News, I also asked you which lenses you thought I also had on loan from Canon, and the answer is f11 800mm and f5.6 to f800 to 400mm. Why these lenses? I've used them in the past and I actually had a lot of fun with these lenses, especially this 800mm lens offers amazing reach in a really lightweight package. And back then, the R7 actually hadn't been available, so I really wanted to see how these two lenses perform on the R7 because they would offer fantastic value for money and great reach for all wildlife photographers. So that's another video I'm working on currently and hopefully share with you guys very soon. I often say on this show there's not many Nikon news because the news cycle has been pretty slow and we're all waiting for the 200 to 600 and the Z8. But last week, actually, Nikon contacted me because they liked my past reviews and asked me if I wanted to do some more reviews of their latest gear. And of course I want to do it and share it with all of you guys. So now I have a brand new Z9 with the latest firmware on my desk, and I also got one of their most awesome lenses, the amazing 600 f4 with the built-in teleconverter. Where is it? There it is. I haven't used either of them in the field yet. I'm just setting up all the settings in the Z9 with how I remember them from using them last time. And I'm looking forward to see how the Z9 performs with the latest firmware, but I'm even more interested to see how a 600mm lens with a built-in 1.4 extender works in the field, because this should give me some amazing flexibility. And of course, I'm also interested to see how much improved the autofocus is on the Z9. A little while ago, I showed you this strange but awesome tripod head, and ever since I've showed it to you, I've been using it exclusively in the field and I love it. This does a perfect job and is actually more stable for video for me. So going forward, I will think I use the FlexShooter almost exclusively in the field, and only if I need the flash brackets, I will use my Whippy head. If I had to nitpick and tell you a few things that I don't like about tripod head, it would be the size of this silver knob. I think it's a little bit undersized and would be nice if it was a bit bigger because you have to turn this a lot. I think the reason is that this knob also tightens and loosens the spring load inside this tripod head. So to be able to adjust that smoothly and nicely, you have to be able to adjust it very finely. But at the same time, when you want to tighten it all the way up to carry the lens around, you have to do many turns on this little knob. All in all, it's a fantastic tripod head and I'm looking forward to be using it in the field more. And if you want to check it out, I'll put a link for you down there in the description. If you haven't seen it already, last week I also posted a video where I compared PureRAW 3 to PureRAW 2. One of the best noise reduction softwares on the market, and decided whether it's worth it to upgrade to the latest version or not. Have you tried it out yet, or have you upgraded to the new version yet? Let me know in the comments, and also if you want to just try out the program, I've linked a free trial for you down there in the description. Overall, I must say PureRAW 3 seems to do a better job, and the new Deep Prime XD mode is also pretty good, although it almost too aggressively removes the noise for me personally. And it also tends to do a little bit of banding in fine background transitions because it's so aggressively removing the noise. So for me going forward, I will likely use PureRAW 3 in the Deep Prime mode. That's also slightly improved and seems to give me the best balance of details and noise and removed noise in the files. So my perfect high ISO noise reduction workflow that allows me to shoot at any ISO currently is PureRAW 3, then my presets in Photoshop that allow me with just one click to transform the RAW file into a great starting point. And then I run my Photoshop workflow on the file that I teach you step by step in my masterclass that allows me to transform any file into a great looking final image. So if you want to learn all about image editing and save a lot of time and get better results, make sure to check out my presets and masterclass down there in the description. I'm sure by now most of you have seen that Amazon has decided to kill off DPReview, one of the main photography review sites and YouTube channels on the web. Back in 2007, Amazon took over DPReview, and This year they've decided they're probably not making enough money with it, so it's time to shut it down. And they're not only going to shut it down, but they're also apparently going to remove the website and the YouTube channel, so it's going to be gone forever, which is a real shame. I think for many of us, DPReview has always been a great resource when we looked at new cameras, and it's always been fun watching Chris and Jordan on their YouTube channel. So what's your take on DPReview? Do you think it's just going to continue over at Petapixel where Chris and Jordan going to go? Or is this going to be a big miss that will be missed throughout the photography community? Going by some of the posts on Sony Alpha Rumors, Sony is also about to release a kind of strange camera, the ZVE1. It's kind of like a A7S III in a smaller body with better autofocus, which is kind of odd to me, but it also going to cost $2,500 most likely. So fairly pricey. And the biggest issue with that camera seems to be that due to the smaller body, it's currently overheating a lot when being field tested. So all around a kind of strange camera that I have a hard time seeing fit into the lineup because it's quite expensive for just a vlogging camera, but it has amazing features. And then if you're a professional, you'd probably go for an A7S III because then you don't have the overheating issue and a better overall sort of weather sealed body. Where does that camera sit for you guys? Is that interesting for you at all? Or does it seem like a kind of strange camera where Sony just tries to find another way to reuse that A7S III sensor before they might upgrade the A7S III with a better sensor down the road? There's also been an interesting rumor this week that Canon is about to release a 24-105 f2.8 RF lens. And while that lens overlaps with a lot of other lenses that Canon has, like a 24-70, 24-105, I would find that lens very interesting. The 24-105 f4 RF lens is one of my most used lenses. I'm currently filming on it, and I must say I love it, but sometimes I wish I could open it up more to have a more blurry background in like a video setting like this. So 2.8 lens, while very expensive and quite big, I would find very interesting, and I would be very tempted to actually buy that lens. And lastly, it seems Canon has released firmware 1.8.1 for the old R6 camera. Firmware 1.8 that they released a few weeks ago seemed to be riddled with a few bugs, but they've hopefully been all removed in a new firmware, and it should be safe to install onto your cameras. Especially if you installed 1.8, I think updating to 1.8.1 would be a very wise choice. So that wraps up this week's early bird photo news. Make sure to check out some of my other videos and also let me know all your thoughts about this episode down there in the comment section. I'm looking forward to using this awesome Nikon gear in the field and sharing all my findings with you guys in a future video. Until then, I hope you enjoy your day, and I will see you in the next episode very soon. Bye guys, and if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe. Bye.